Hey, we're out here talking about these interspecific cots today, right?
Yes, we are.
Hey, can you give us kind of a review of what the Zaigers are looking for in terms of these incredibly wonderful varieties of apricot, something new and exciting? What goes into that?
Yeah, so with our interspecific apricots, what we're trying to shoot for is we're trying to elongate the season. Apricots are a little bit of a relatively shorter season. So we're trying to start them a little bit earlier and get them to hang on the tree a little bit later. Typically by like July, we're kind of ending our apricot season, so we're trying to prolong it. We're also obviously always shooting for size, bigger the better. And then recently we've been, as you can see on this one, we've been trying to add a little bit of red flesh or red blush onto the skin. So you can see there's orange and red on this specific variety. And then obviously always flavor. We're always trying to improve our flavor and have a flavor that fits everybody's profile.
So tell me, what about like things like self-fertile and things of that nature?
Yes, we are always trying to look for fertile varieties as well, so they do not require a pollinator. And those typically tend to set more fruit, which will give us a heavier crop.
Is that something that's more rare in apricots than, let's just but of course we know peaches and nectarines are common. So what about in apricots? Is that something that's more common or
it's more common than not. It's not, especially with our interspecific apricots, because a lot of them have peach and nectarine in them. Excellent. So I think that gene will pull through in it, and apricots are pretty easy to get self-fertile.
So what about commercial growers? What don't they want to see on an apricot today?
So what they don't want to see, and this one's actually pretty good, but some apricots will have, we call a blossom end hole. So that's like a little pinpoint hole, and commercial growers cannot have that because when it goes through the packing shed, it opens it for, bacteria or anything to get in. They also don't want stem pull. This one's a little bit overripe, so it does have some stem pull.
Stem pull, and that's where when you pick it.
Yeah, when you pick it, it kind of leaves a hole. Yeah,
right.
It tears off like some skin.
Yeah, some of the skin on top.
When you open it, this one's pretty clean, but you don't want to see any heat damage. When there's heat damage, this pit cavity turns black. You don't want that. You don't want any pit shatter. But overall, this one's actually a pretty clean variety.
So this has actually been one that's been under review for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah. This variety is a few years old, and you can see the yellow flag on the tree. It's actually been on our COC list, which is cream of the crop list that we show on our Wednesday fruit shows.
All right, Tracee, we just came on this apricot variety here, and what did you notice about it?
So on this one, you can see up here on the stem end, there's a stem hole, and then also the deep suture, and that's not ideal because anything can get in there. And on this one, you can see it's already starting to get a little bit of the blossom end. There was a hole, so it starts to rot, and with the hole on both ends, and then when you open it up, you can see that it just kind of starts rotting from the outside in.
So for a packer, that just absolutely
no, that's an absolutely no-go for a packer.
Yeah,
yep.
I get it.
Yeah, sorry. This one, same thing. You can see it had both the stem end hole and the blossom end hole, and it just starts to mold and rot.
Wow.
It also allows an entry for insects, which cause a lot of problems as well. So here's another apricot, IS apricot, and on this one you can see a very, very deep suture. Plus you can see this one also has stem pull. You can see this little piece of skin pulled when we picked it off the tree. And that's typically a characteristic that you don't want. And again, it just allows anything to enter into the fruit and cause problems in the flesh.
Tell me what just hit you.
A little acidic.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you like acidic?
Oh,
yeah.
Man, the acidity, to me, right now, that acidity is almost just right. Give it another, 3 or 4 days, and the sugar will express itself a
Yeah.
little bit more, and you'll have a really nice acid sugar blend.
Yeah, the acid will settle.
Yeah, the acid.
Yeah.
We're still really early.
Yeah, our fruit's just getting started. Matter of fact, we haven't had any pluots ready yet, but I think next week, we'll have some pluots probably that are starting to get ready.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then, so this still is an interspecific apricot as well.
Yes, this is an interspecific
So,
apricot.
so I really like the flavor on this because it's an acid, which I think is going to express that sugar even a little bit better. Like say maybe in 5 days. Maybe we'll come back out here next week and it'll even be that much better.
Yeah.
So, tell me, it really fits some of the attributes you said about commercial.
Yeah. I mean, it has this is a young tree, but it has a relatively nice crop on it. It has really good color. It has that blush that we spoke about earlier. It has no blossom, end hole, or stem pull, and then it does have a little bit of acid in its flavor, which is good for a couple of reasons, because it will settle over time, and then the sugars will go up. And also for commercial growers, usually if it has a little higher acidity, it will ship and store longer, and then when they go to ship it, it usually does better shipping because it doesn't break down as quickly. So when we're looking at apricots for commercial, we look for firmness, color, and size, and lastly we look at flavor. And when we look at flavor, we take the bricks, and the bricks will help you decide on the flavor profile. Okay, and when we're looking at apricots for home and garden, it's the same qualities as commercial, we just have a little bit more leeway. We still look for firmness, color, size, and flavor. However, the firmness can be a touch softer than for commercial, the size can be a little bit smaller, the color doesn't have to be as vibrant for commercial. For home garden, the flavor is always exciting.